Hi, my name is Steve Faberman. I'm the Chief Legal Officer of Progress Software, and we're here to record a video for our Progress's 40th anniversary. This is a fireside chat, so it's meant to be very relaxed. So one of the things that I would say initially is that not everybody participating in today's fireside chat knows everybody else. So what we're going to do to start is to go around and introduce ourselves. So as I mentioned, my name is Steve Faberman. I'm the Chief Legal Officer and I'm based in Massachusetts. I've been at Progress for 13 and a half years, and sometimes it seems like a lot longer than that, but sometimes it just seems like yesterday. So I'm going to turn it to Joe to introduce himself. Joe?
Thanks, Steve. Yes, hi everyone. My name is Joe McNamee. I'm the Senior Director of Sales in North America for our growth product line. I'm based out of the Burlington, Massachusetts office, right here where we're all hanging out for this fireside chat right now, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I came over from the acquisition of Ipswitch 2.5 years ago. So all in, I've been with Progress for just coming up on 9 years now.
Tim, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Tim Sargent, and I started at Progress when it was still Data Language Corporation, 1987, and I'm a software fellow, work in the on the OpenEdge product. So been here a long time, and glad to be here.
Great, thanks, Tim. I don't want to make you feel bad or anything, but in 1987 I was a senior in high school. So I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, but I was only 12 when I started.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, next I'm going to introduce Shalaika, who's coming to us from Rotterdam. Shalaika?
So my name is Shalaika, and I'm a part of the people team. I'm based in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and I've been with the company for almost 23 years.
Thank you, Shalaika. I didn't realize that in Rotterdam people started working when they were 9, but I'm happy 23rd anniversary, and you've had a promotion recently, so congratulations on that as well.
Thank you, Steve.
And next I want to introduce from India, Prasanna. Prasanna, please go ahead and say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi, this is Prasanna Anireddy. I am based out of Hyderabad, and I joined Progress in 2006 as part of an acquisition. So in all, I have 30 years experience, 15 with the prior company and then 15 at Progress. And I'm a senior director on our core products. Thank you,
Prasanna. I think the first question I wanted to ask everybody is we all have one thing in common. And that is that we've been at Progress or a predecessor company that turned into Progress for in many well over 10 years in most cases, and I think that's very unusual for the tech industry. So I wanted to get people's perspectives on why did they choose Progress when they chose Progress, and why did they stay for so long? Because it is so unusual. So I'm going to start with you, Shalaika, on both questions. I recognize that you were born into the people team role, so you didn't have a lot of chance to do anything else, but give a little bit perspective on why you've stayed as long as you have.
So because of the fact that we work with the different nationalities and the different background of people, one of the things that I really like is that it makes you think about communication. For example, one of the things that is really important is that it can come across different if you talk to a person from one country versus another country, which keeps it very challenging.
Great. Thanks, Shalaika. Tim, I'm curious because you've been at the company now for, as you said, since 1987. And when I started in 2008, the development organization at Progress was filled with many, many different unique personalities, particularly at the leadership level. And so I'm curious, as someone who's sort of lived through all of that and more, what keeps you here at Progress?
Well, I'd say, first of all, what drew me to Progress was the people, really, really bright, sharp, tactical people who had this sort of very almost flat organization. Everybody, in the beginning, there were not a lot of people, and so everybody just jumped in and worked on everything together. And so you get to rub shoulders with some more experienced, really bright people. And I'd say that what has kept me here is some of the same. There's just a great culture here of, people care about each other. The demands of the work. There's a recognition that you have a life outside of work. And so it's just it's a wholesome sense. But then, what's kept me here sort of professionally beyond that is just no shortage of interesting work, hard problems to solve, real life problems that customers are having that are building these incredible business applications that serve people all around the world. So that's exciting. It's great to be a part of that.
Thanks, Tim. That's great. Appreciate that. It's a good lead into. We've spent a lot of time at Progress this year celebrating our culture, and 40th anniversary is fantastic for that. I'm gonna ask each of you a hard one because we all like to talk. So let's see if you guys can meet this. When I ask the question, give me one word to define Progress's culture. Joe, can you give me one word to define what you think our culture is all about? One word, Joe.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Tim, what about you?
It's really two words, I suppose, technically. A can do.
We'll put them together in one word. How's that? All right.
Thank you.
Prasanna, what about you? Can you give me a good way to describe Progress's culture in one word?
Proud.
Proud. Excellent. Okay. Shalika, how about you?
I would say inclusive.
Inclusive. Excellent. Okay. Those are terrific descriptions. So I appreciate. Good. You all passed the test. Congratulations.
One word. It's tough though.
I know. Okay. So was there a personal achievement here that you've all done during your time at Progress that you're most proud of? Shalika, anything come to mind?
So I guess the moment where, the pandemic hit us, that's the moment where I really felt like, whoa, it was amazing. It didn't matter if you worked for the people team, facilities, or IT. We were all in it together. And we had the opportunity to turn something around so fast globally for all the employees. And that was a moment where I really felt amazing and part of the Progress team. I couldn't even dream about turning this around so fast.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Joe, how about yourself?
Pretty similar story, I would say. When the pandemic hit, out here in this office, it's the entire sales team, the entire inside sales team has been on this floor. And if you've never been on this floor, it's vibrant. It moves. You walk on that side, it's loud, there's things happening, balls flying around, conversations going on, people on the phones. It's a great atmosphere. And then, month end, and then quarter end, and then year end, and the anticipation just builds. Yep. And it's a lot of fun. And when the pandemic hit, that's that. Everybody go home. And what do we do? How do we do it? And, we collectively started getting together on a lot of Zoom meetings and calls and bringing the team together. And it was new for everybody. Nobody knew how to do this, what to do. But the fact that we all came together, we found a way to overcome it. We missed everybody getting together and all, but we did it virtually. For one, it was different. It wasn't as great, but we got together on a weekly basis. We had some fun. We found ways to overcome that. And, we had a great year. We didn't drop the ball. We didn't miss a beat.
Right.
We still found ways to, talking about the collaborative nature in here. I can still get in touch with PM, with the marketing team, with HC. It just wasn't face to face. It was a little different, but we found a way. And again, we had a great year. And then fast forward to right here and right now, we've all been on the earnings calls. We're having a great year.
Right. Yep.
And we're still in this pandemic in here. We're still, but there's nobody on the sales floor right now other than me.
Right. So I think the next question I wanted to ask, Prasanna, I want to maybe get a little bit personal here. So if it's too personal, you stop me. But you've been in tech and in software for a long time. What's that like? And I'm not so much today, but I'm thinking about when you first started. I can't imagine that there were a lot of women that you were surrounded by, and I'm curious as our CSR initiatives have become so important. I'm curious whether you have perspectives on what that was like to be a female in tech at that time. Anything that you feel like you want to share?
I think when I started off, even at the earlier company, Steve, it was a small startup, and I think we were probably 5 team members, and I was one of them. And apart from me, there was another women employee. But I think the environment I had to work back then, and even when I started at Progress, I personally never had to really deal with any challenges of being either a woman or like being the only one in some occasions during meetings or otherwise. But I think that's been very fortunate because of, I think, the supportive team members I had, I think the leadership that I had an opportunity to work with. And over the years, I think we are seeing a lot more team members join us, and I think it's great to see many of them growing in their roles and continuing to stay strong in their careers. And I think for me, another great moment has been how I think at Progress, right, we now even on our board have such a diverse board members, right? I think having 3 women board members. So I think the world is absolutely changing, and I think we have great role models throughout the company. Even on our CEO staff, we have women leaders, right? And I think so things are changing. But personally, I didn't really have to deal with any of challenges, Steve. So I think I'm absolutely fortunate there.
I'm glad to hear that. Prasanna, I'm going to ask the last question to you to start, and we'll get everybody's input too. But we're here to celebrate the 40th anniversary, and 40 years as an independent software company is an enormous amount of time in the grand scheme of things. So, what does 40 years as a company mean to you, Prasanna? Particularly since you've been here for a lot of it. How does that resonate to you?
Yeah, I think it primarily reflects, I think, the strength of our products, and I think the commitment that the team has in ensuring that the products remain relevant for the needs of our customers, right? Because like even the product that I initially worked on, which is the Open Access SDK product, right? Remains even of value to our customers even today, right? So I think as long as we have products that are providing the value that our customers are looking for, we continue to invest in them and keep them meeting the needs of the customers. I think that's what drives our success.
That's great, Prasanna. What about you, Shalika? What does the 40-year anniversary mean to you?
It actually means a lot to me. Not from the start, I could actually see everything, but it was nice in all these years to see how the company was growing, and also any other activities that the company has outside just doing business, which obviously helps the company to continue to grow as well. So I think about CSR, think about anything that's related to the people internally, but also externally, which really makes me a very proud person to be a part of Progress. And it means not just as a company, but it's thinking about the business, but also about anything else that's going on in the world, which means a lot to me.
That's great. Thanks, Shalika. Tim, how about yourself? What does 40 years mean to you? You've been here for a lot of them, so.
When I think of 40 years, it's a generation. And as Prasanna said, we have these great products that have been built up over that time. And perhaps, who knows, maybe we're entering into some sort of promised land going forward.
Excellent. I don't know how you top that, Joe, but good luck.
40 years for a software firm it's
an eternity.
It's an eternity, is what it really is, right? But for me, it's proud of the product, the people, the customer base that we have. And what I see is optimism. I'm very optimistic about where we're going and for the reasons that we're going there.
Great.
That's
great.
if I had to sum it up
great.
in really 2 words, that's
Yep.
what it would be
That's
for me.
great. For me, 40
great.
years, I mean, I think we're the fact that, as Prasanna said, the fact that we're still helping customers, in many cases with the same products, just better, 40 years later, and we continue to help customers 40. It's just a remarkable story, and one that we should all be proud of. And I think Suleika is right. We've taken our story and we've evolved it. Thankfully, we've never stayed still, and we've evolved it. And 40 years later, we're still that great company. And I don't know if we'll all be together in 40 years, the 5 of us, but if we are, I think we should promise that we'll do this again. In 40 years.
We'll come back as guests.
Yeah.
And happy 40th.
Happy 40.
Happy 40th.
Happy 40.
Yep.
Yeah.